3, 2, 1. I guess.
Action.
Hello, Dan.
Hello there.
I'm so gassed to have Dan on because.
Have we started? Oh. Go on then, sorry.
Cut it. Dan, what an icon in this city. Honest, you've put the fucking work in, man.
Oh, so
it's
you.
It's good to have a conversation with you like this because I feel like we'll always see each other out and about. And
yeah.
just, have a little rant. We'll have a little giggle, have a little dance. But, this time I'll probably get to, really talk to you.
Yeah. So, yeah, because I don't really know exactly where you come from and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
I know, we're not talking about me.
I know, but like, that's what I mean. We don't ever get a chance to actually sit down and proper talk about everything we've done and where we've come from. Do you know what I mean? So
we tend to just put like gun fingers to people's faces and like, yes.
Exactly that.
So I was going through your CV.
Yeah.
What a CV, by the way. It's put mine to shame. No wonder I can't get a fucking job done.
I can't either, Bab.
If you can't, we're finished.
Don't worry. Unemployed friends on a Thursday evening.
I've got a feeling.
Just having a giggle.
I've got a feeling there's some good creatives in the city. We all need a bit of work right now. We need to like come together and just create a fucking drive buses or something.
Ring and ride for the ravers afterwards. Here we go.
Light bulbs, man, light bulbs. So, what I want to sort of dive into first really is what your first sort of experiences were going out and where was you going, what was you listening to?
Yeah. So I grew up, so my brothers are like, I'm a mistake baby, so my brothers are like 15 years, 16 years older than me, and I had to share a bedroom with my brother, and he was like 17, so he was going the raves. He was fuming. He was going the raves and stuff, but like putting music on, obviously getting ready, so he was listening to drum and bass, like Ronnie Size, everyone like that, and I was like, yeah, probably that vibe, probably that. This is actually his diesel jacket that he probably wore out back then. And so obviously I was always around like electronic music. My mum and dad like listened to electronic music as well, a lot of disco, a lot of Prodigy, all that type of stuff.
Yes, love that.
And then I moved on to, I was friends with like, a lot of my cousins are older. I was friends with them, and so when I was like 11, 12, I would always listen to, do you remember like the Silk City CD packs?
Yes.
Yeah, so like they literally made me who I am today. So I was like always on it with the bassline and speed garage and stuff. So the first proper place I went to was Broad Street, one like bookie night, and it was just not very good. Yeah. And then it was Subway, so then never missed the Subway. So
what age are you at this point?
About 15.
The kids don't know you. The people used to do that at 15.
And it was like 15 drinks and £8 in. Or something, do you remember? And they used to press it in. So I'd go there on a weekend for like the bassline, and then on a Tuesday as well for 90s night. And then it was slowly going to places like Gutter Skank, where, EBL, Glass, 231, all that sort of stuff. Face, obviously, like Face was my absolute fave, especially the pub, because they'd just play whatever the fuck they wanted in there, and it was just really fun. But then, when I was 17, that's when I started like doing my own club nights. So it just went from there. That's how I started. I was like, always thought my birthdays before I'd done events were always an event. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like I remember like booking like bassline DJs that were big at the time for like my 16th and all this. And I always had it at a venue in town or something. So then, it just moved on from that. And then I moved on to like when I came out, I ended up going like on the gay scene then, even on my own. And then I met this guy, and he was like, I was saying about what was missing and stuff in like the queer scene in Birmingham, and then it just moved on from there. Like we worked together and made it happen. Do you know what I mean? It's
good that you get to identify these things, because I think me and Brad were a bit similar in terms of we were going out and we're like, okay, we like this, but there's something missing for me. It would be like, I'd always think it was, and it sounds a bit mad, artwork. The artwork would attract a certain type of person.
No, absolutely, it really does. It really does. Like, you know, them old school, like, baseline artworks, and it'd be like a sexy woman, like, on the front. It was, like, very, I don't know, like, very much like a template off Google that you can get now. Everyone loved it at the time. But, yeah, you always had really creative, I've always loved some sellers' artwork. It's always been, like, so sick. I remember the Rizzler one. Was that Rizzler Teeth, when you had Rizzler Teeth, was it?
Was that Rizzler Teeth? No,
I can't
Danny
remember.
Rankin, that was.
Oh, yeah, that one was one of my faves.
Something that you said as well, which is a good promoter tip, is to do an event on your birthday.
It is. Literally, make it about you as much as you can. No, I'm joking.
But so you started to go into like the gay scene in town and nights on. So how were those first nights? And
I was very lucky. He was like basically funded it, and I helped like create stuff, like create the sort of content of the night and the music policy. Like there was a big thing at the time where people that weren't really playing like UK garage or dance hall or R&B. There was some specific nights that done, like there was Urban Slag, but that only happened once a month. So we ended up like, it was like a regular night and it constantly had that music, and it was what we said, we wanted like a gay propaganda. You know, remember propaganda? Yeah. Like where it had like, you know, a dubstep room, it had a house room, it had like an R&B and hip hop room. Like that's basically what we wanted. It was just basically bringing the queer scene in Birmingham up to the modern age, basically. That's what we done, and we had cheap drinks as well. And we used to do mad stuff like throw like £1,000 in a big balloon and throw it in. I've seen people nearly die. Never do that. Never do that. I've seen people nearly crack their heads for like a fiver, man. Like, it was too much.
I feel like I'd probably get involved.
Yeah, I was like, this.
Grand.
I was like, fuck me, these people have probably made more money than I have putting this night on. Do you know what I mean? Fuming. And then I remember the first booking that we had was so random. Do you remember Addictive? Like, and the sang like, throw me up against the wall. Yeah, they randomly just come and perform for free because it was someone's birthday who was coming. And I was 17, I was fucking gassed.
Oh, man.
I was like, no way, is this the first artist I've ever got to an event and didn't even have to pay them. Shout out Addictive, thank you so much. I'm still in love with you.
Get in touch, Addictive.
And then that was that, and that was successful for about 2 years, but then it just broke down, really. I think I moved on to other things. I started a night called Trashy, which was more like, I remember we'd done it in Lab 11, and we collabed with, like, promoters in London, and they came up. There was Mark Ashley-Dupe, who's, like, really killing it at the moment. He came up with all his crew, and it was a big, like, mixture of people from all different places. We'd done it at Lab 11.
What year was this?
Oh, God. Like 2012 maybe, but I think a learning curve was I had too many ideas and was trying to throw it into one night. You know, you probably understand as well, you have all these creative ideas, and I just thought, yeah, I can play, because it was only one room, so it was like we're playing bashment, dancehall, garage, speed garage, house, techno, and it was a bit too much. Like people were, it was just a bit much.
You know that meme of that woman who's like that?
No, literally. But then from that, just obviously I was like working for people, like selling tickets, you know, for like glass and stuff, like doing anything, being a guest list bitch on the door. I just done anything really to get involved with any of the events that I liked at the time.
With doing that as well, you get to meet so many people, and just those little interactions you have with people on the door. Yeah. That fucking matters so much. I love really doing it. I love it. You know, even as people, for the life of me, I can't remember what their names are.
Yeah.
But there's always like a great bond you can have, and you'll recognise people for years.
Yeah, exactly.
You do that. Like, it's good. I think it's a good thing to want to put yourself in that position.
Yeah, exactly. And then, from there, I just went on to. Am I waffling? Like, have you got a next question? No. And then that's when. Basically, I walked into the Nightingale, I had a meeting with them, and sort of said, this is shit, what you're doing. You need to be doing this sort of thing and all that. And then I think I just started on their social media team for like pennies a week.
Yeah.
And then they used to do a big night called the Nightingale Rerun. and it was like the end of January where they do New Year's Eve again. I don't get it, but people love it.
Yeah.
It's really bizarre. And I pushed and pushed and pushed to book Miss Dynamite. I was like, listen, I'm going out to EBL, I'm going out to these raves in Digbeth and stuff, and there's loads of queer people there, but you don't do anything around here for it. But they were like booking X Factor bitches and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was very much a jump for them. And they actually listened to me, and it really really killed it. Like, I remember the boss turning around and being like, fucking hell, like. So then I became the programmer then for Nightingale, and then went on to do Pride and stuff. So that's how it happened.
That's great, because you've had to take that leap and push the boundary.
Yeah.
And it can go two ways, but you know, when it comes off, you've created something successful enough for them to trust you to keep.
Yeah, exactly. And thankful for them. Then I went on to do a lot of the nights that I still do now. So we've done a big night, me, Anthony and Lacey. We done a big night called Glitter Shit, which was like a big student night where we play like 90s trance and everyone dresses up. So like it'd be like, you know, a takeaway night and people would come dressed as Greggs and stuff. It was really funny. And
big
then big up Greggs, where's the sponsorship? Yeah, so because of that, I ended up doing like 3 nights that I still do now, with like my partners, Anthony and Lacey. So there was just loads of good stepping stones from me just going in that room with if you think about it now, I went in that room with a presentation on my laptop saying how shit the club was. How bizarre is that? Like, I would never have the fucking balls to do that now, but it worked. I'm here. Do you know what I mean?
If you see Dan with his laptop knocking on the door, you think, oh God, please. My club's going all right. What are you on about?
Literally. But yeah, I think I just then went from there and like worked. I'd done the same thing to Pride then, so like we was in the same office as the people that done Pride, like the Pride bookings. So I'd be like, oh, you should book this person, you should book that person, and then I think it was 2017 or 18 where I did take over like all the programming of Pride. Which was amazing. Like, I had a good like 4 or 5 years doing that. Yeah, it was crazy. Man. I went from like, you know, these like big budgets and raising money and stuff for LGBTQ like groups and around Birmingham. But yeah, it was just my time to leave then.
I must ask, with those Pride gigs, you must have come across some pretty interesting like riders. Yes, no. We're really doing it. We are really doing it.
Yeah, like mad stuff, you know.
Let's hear about the riders. Come on.
You know, there's people that are just like, can I have a PlayStation and an Xbox in my... And you're like, how about you eat my shit? I'm not doing that for you. You know, that people can ask for drugs, all that sort of stuff. But... to be honest, it's more like the mad interactions. Like, some people, it's always them like mid-level artists that come with an entourage that have 20 people and they think they're bad and they cause like a stir the whole day. But then the person who's actually selling like millions of albums or whatever, do you know what I mean? Like, they're the people that come in and like, yeah, I'll just have a bottle of wine. That's all right. It's always the ones coming up, like, but fair enough. They've been used to, I suppose, just having a drink token for like 10 years. So I would like live in it a little bit.
I think what it is, they've probably experienced the whole industry and thought, I'm going to take it easy on this guy. This guy's gone through a lot.
Yeah, true.
But the PlayStation, Xbox, that's...
Yeah, there's probably a lot more things that I can't say.
No, you can.
No, I'm not.
Can.
Oh, no. It's like I say, it's just experiences. Like, I remember being in a strip club with Katie Price. Which was just amazing.
Tom, clip that.
I remember me and Mousy, like, I made a joke. Like, there was loads of people outside. I booked for a DJ set. There was loads of people outside of the venue. And I went to her, fucking hell, all these people outside are here for you. And she looked me, it was just me and her in the room. She looked me dead in the face and didn't do anything. She just went... And I was like, I was only joking. She went, oh, okay.
She
fucking hell, man. Not a Spice Girl getting mad at me. Yeah, fully like, but yeah, I think she didn't understand the joke, to be honest. But I was like, oh, I need to go now. Oh, my best story is that me and Tiffany Pollard from Big Brother, you know, the Gemma is a fat cunt, that her. We had a massive argument. She's exactly what you'd think she was like. We had a massive argument and she accused me of spitting in her burger. and then said that she didn't feel safe, so had to leave the venue before she'd done a meet and greet. I didn't spit in a burger, by the way. And before this as well, we'd gone for a nice meal, had some Prosecco and stuff, and then the next thing I know, she was saying that I spat in a burger. It was mad. But literally, it's on my Hinge profile because it's that iconic.
That is class.
Yeah, I mean, he's got that story. I need to put it on my CV, actually.
I can't think who it is. Will I know? If I Google it, will I know?
Absolutely. Let me look. Let me put it on. Can I put it on?
Yeah, get it up and then show the camera who it is.
But you're going to pass out. Oh, wait there. Sorry for the wait, because this is very important. Tiffany Pollard.
Who was the biggest person you'd booked at Pride?
You had Dua Lipa.
What?
Oh, she don't even look like it, do you know her?
Oh, yeah.
It's like... Can you see her, Tiffany Pollard?
Is that the one that says David's
dead? Yeah, her. Yeah,
Shit, okay.
Dua Lipa. For me, it's people like Jimmy Somerville, you know, like all the old classic people, Jake Shears. But we've had just like some amazing people like Years and Years were great, and Ollie donated all of his fee to local charities.
That's huge.
You know who done that? And I always shout him out because people don't realise, and they always take the piss out of him, and I don't know why, because he's so lovely. Patrick Topping is one of probably the only headline DJ that has donated his full fee to like LGBT charities. Do you know what I mean? But and no one else does.
That's amazing. No, seriously, big up Patrick.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Big up Patty too.
Was there any other... you know what just popped into my head? You booked us for Pride.
Yes, yeah, that was sick, that was.
I swear to God, there must have been about 3,000 people in the arena.
Yeah.
We don't need 3,000 people. So we've got 3 DJs sort of playing back to back. And me and Brad we were sort of just sort of party with it.
Yeah.
And all I remember was looking out to everyone, and then Brad just rugby tackled me in front of everyone on the stage. I think it's funny, you know, he threw me over.
Crying.
And I threw him over, and we were just tumbling.
Fighting on the stage.
It was kind of cute.
Yeah.
It was kind of cute. But there was just like a good 2 minute like.
Just fun. I mean, it's
rumble,
just a laugh, though, isn't it? Like it's all it's fun. I haven't said I'm not doing it anymore, but I've just moved on. There's different things to do.
I think the other time we played at the Loft.
Yeah.
That
was the thing. That was the thing I was going to bring up. I think as well. I think people have just became stuck in their ways from like this is like a lot of promoters and stuff. I think they do stuff for so long where a big thing is, I think with working at venues or festivals and stuff, is just collaboration and collaborating with so many people that you wouldn't normally think about that would be in that space. So I think that's a big thing to just go further in your... Don't be scared to go up to, you know, like me coming up to... Who would think that some seller would get booked for Pride? But then I'd go to some seller and there'd be a lot of gay people there, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's sort of... I was like, well, yeah, they'll come play at Pride and... You know, I think that year there was loads of different parties there. I think 231 was there as well, and then we had Homo Electric from. It was just a big mishmash, but it really worked. And that's something on paper. There's sometimes you think collabs won't work, but actually, I think it's the best way to enhance your event is working with locals and working with different people.
A great thing as well, I think, you know, for us with the brand, and I'm sure 231 felt the same.
Yeah.
You get that invitation, and we're like. This is going to be fucking good.
Yeah.
It's different for us. It's different for them.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you know what? It's something that I'll never forget.
Yeah.
So
Thanks for doing it, though.
And there was like a massive screen as
Yeah.
well. So we could watch. I'd gone to the toilet and I'm watching the lads DJ, and I'm like, they don't even know about the screen.
Oh, like behind them, showing them the stage. Yeah.
Oh, it was nuts, man. How did it feel at that time managing that kind of budget? Because, like I said, you've had some huge people.
It was hard. It's hard. I think it was. I think it sounds stupid. I broke it down, and I was just like imagining it that it wasn't that big. No, it sounds stupid. It's like, oh, actually, it's like to say if it was this figure, I'd like might divide like minus it by like 100 or something, like 100% or something. So it just seemed a bit like less daunting. But yeah, it was just hard. The thing is, I was doing it around when loads of things were changing, when artist fees were going through the roof, when streaming came in. So it was very much, which it should be, working on upcoming artists and putting them through. Like a big thing that I was proud of was creating the Future stage, which had like loads of different artists from all over the world come and play. And then, you know, it was me and Soraya would program that.
Big up Soraya.
Big up Soraya. Big up Soraya. Yeah, so it's just hard. It's very confusing. I'm not good at maths. I just send it to the accounts team. It's not my problem.
I think it's sometimes good to not be good at maths because someone who's good at maths ain't gonna get shit done.
No, true.
They're gonna be like looking at. Oh, we can't do that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Creatives and maths don't go
together. You'll make it
together.
back on the bar, innit?
Yeah, creatives and maths don't go together.
So after Pride, where did you go after that?
So we're still working with the hair. So obviously we moved Hooker Club and Disco Pussy to the Hare and Hounds and collabed with them a lot on shows with like Midland, Creaster, Horse Meat Disco, Synthy. Can't remember off the top of my head, but loads of like really cool shows. They've like helped us so much, as they do, like loads of locals. Like they're just amazing, aren't they? So we stayed doing that, and then went and worked at Skiddle. So that was...
Big up Skiddle.
Big up Skiddle. Big shout out to Rob as well. And yeah, so basically I was one of the account managers there and just looked after various different things. So I looked after like IB for Rocks and helped with their marketing. And then Mint Festival, but then it'd be like High Hoops in Manchester, which is a really cool queer party, which I've always loved, at the White Hotel. And the White Hotel's like my favourite club in the UK, so I was like buzzing about that. And that was really great, just going outside the box, outside of my box, and seeing what's selling and what isn't, and what's moving really fast. And it was when I worked there, it was very much like that heart, like the trance was coming through again, and Hannah Lang and people like that. But yeah, it was amazing. Like amazing team, like an amazing company, and like again, they support like. I think they're really great in supporting upcoming promoters, and they do like different funding and stuff as well. But
Don't give me any though.
Where's the bloody money?
So what's that, Skiddle, man? Can you fill out this form? I'm like, I can't fill out the form. Can you just send me the money?
Don't give me jokes. But then but then I sort of missed being hands-on. It was nice to take a step back, but then obviously I went on to work at Forum and working on the 60th birthday campaign there and booking artists and that there. So that's sort of why I left Skiddle and moved on to programming again.
From the outside looking in, especially Forum, it's such a huge space.
It's scary. In Birmingham, it's scary, that size venue.
It doesn't need to be that big.
No, it doesn't.
No, it needs to be that big in Brom.
No, yeah. Which is sad because we would fill them sort of, them size venues back in the day. Do you know what I mean?
I don't really want to go down like how can I put it? Like, what's the problem with Birmingham?
Yeah.
Because that's like that's a 6-hour show.
We'll come back for part 2 about
that. Huge space. I think a really difficult part of the city now. It never used to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
I used to go to when it was the Carling Academy.
Yeah.
My first early gigs as a kid, and like.
Do you remember that underage rock thing party on a Saturday? I remember I was when I was a chav when I was a teenager. My mates would go, and I was that much doing a bit that I was a chav when really I'd go home and listen to Good Charlotte anyway. So I'm not going in there because I didn't want to be seen to be a rocker.
I only like it in the comfort of my own home.
I loved it. I don't know. I was too much in the bit of being like a big chav. Do you know what I mean?
I think what I noticed as well with you being there was I could tell that you've put your spin on things.
Yeah.
I think you had Phoebe do some artwork.
Yeah.
And I was like, Dan.
Dan's doing this. Yeah, you could tell, can't you?
So you could sort of see that it's coming together, but it's a big.
Yeah. It was. We like there's we had some great shows booked in, and obviously it closed down, sadly. So it's a shame. And for the fact that, you know, it was a venue that was 60 years an entertainment venue, and it was mostly independent most of that time. I think it was only when it was the Carlin and the O2 it wasn't independent. When it was the Hummingbird, it was like really redefined like Birmingham, and really was such a big part of the music scene. So it's just really sad.
Your parents and mine used to go there quite a lot, and
yeah,
stories from there, and you know, be the same for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Something else I remember you doing. I only really know it from like obviously saw you on Insta. Was like you worked at Carla.
Oh, what? Yeah. It
was on our list. It was on our list to go to Carla. So we'd always like look at this place, looks wicked.
Oh, for some seller to go there, you mean, or you?
I don't think they would have let us there, but just to go and chill, you know.
Yeah.
But we saw that you was there, so I think I remember asking you about what it was like, and you.
Oh, actually, yeah, you did, yeah.
Said some stuff. Some stuff had gone on.
Oh, listen, he's got me on here to gossip about people, and that's it. It's meant to be about me. He's got me chatting shit about other people.
Is it good clickbait?
It's good clickbait, yeah. The way they're gonna.
Well, we're gonna gossip.
The way they're gonna clip these, like these videos.
Here's you saying on this day.
No, it was really good. I worked for a company out there, and it was bizarre. I missed my flight. So I had to buy another flight. That was already like the sign. And it was just very hard because it was basically in the middle of nowhere. It's, I can't remember what it's called now. Dermy. Absolutely beautiful. It's very much like, you know, the garden.
Do you have to go to Greece first?
You can go that way.
Okay.
Or you can go to Tirana, I think, and then drive. But bearing in mind, it's like a 4-hour drive. I think I landed at like 2 a.m. and got there at 6 a.m. or something, and it was really bizarre. But then artists had to do that as well. So obviously you had a lot of artists that were showing up. The thing was, there was a perception of artists, they didn't understand what Dermy was and what the sort of place was.
Albania was quite fresh, really. It was just
it was 100%. It was like building sites everywhere because it was quickly becoming like a destination like Croatia. And basically artists were showing up and being like, where's the 5-star hotel? It was like, babes, you've got a B&B and that's it. Like, but, you know, most artists didn't care, but I managed the artist liaison out there. So, you know, you had people like, I think Andy C showed up and he wasn't happy because it was already a storm, and then he was like, mate, I've just drove all this way and now you're delaying my gig. And I was like, well, it's lightning outside, you know what I mean? And then it was just some crazy times out there. I think they've, like I said, great festivals, absolutely love them, but I think they have dropped it in like a sort of, there's different class of cultures there. Yeah. So it was sort of like somehow, but like some of the like locals would just be like, "What the fuck's going on?" Do you know what I mean? There'd be kids like just wrecked on the street and that, and there'd be these people like, "What is going on?"
They haven't had anything like that hit them. Really,
no, yeah. But they make good coin off it. So I remember the one day my vape was €3, and I went back the next day when the festival started, it was like 20. So they're making the coin, and fair play to them.
Fair play. Fair play.
But it was amazing. Like, I'd definitely love to do something like that again abroad. I was meant to do Horst, I think, last year, but you know what? Listen, I'm in my 30s now, and they're telling me I've got to sleep in a tent for a week. I ain't doing it.
Nah.
I ain't doing it, babe.
You need a holiday after that.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, they're doing it. I am working Download Festival, though.
Oh!
I know. So, but I've got a hotel, so it's not bad.
If you're going to do it, you should wear chav clothes.
Yeah.
100%. There's something about that.
But I'm just I'm doing night shifts. I'm doing 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. managing the VIP. I can't be arsed.
That's fucking sick.
No, it'd be fun. Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. But yeah, it's a bit of a jump to what I'm normally used to. But you know what? It's full circle moment of me not going in that rock club when I was younger, and now here I am going Download. So big up the rockers.
Yeah, man, big up, man. Remember Scruffy Murphy's? Did you ever go in there?
Well, yeah, it was next to Forum, wasn't it? Yeah. So yeah, I did like go for a couple of after work drinks there. To be fair,
I went last time I was there. I just remember being sick in the toilet, man.
It's going to be
that long ago.
It's going to be wild in there after the Ozzy Osbourne show, though, isn't it? Like, that's going to be so good.
Well, I live literally a stone throw away from the Villa Park.
Yeah.
I'm trying to work out how to make an earner, and I don't know what. It ain't quite come to. I'm watching old videos of the Osbournes.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Something will come.
Get some wigs that are similar to Ozzy's hair and just sell them outside.
Just go, fucking, who's been here? Stealing all my bits. Gotta be a thief.
Don't give me jokes.
Is there anything that you've noticed throughout the years of doing events that you're seeing, like the scene change? Is there anything that you would sort of... Yeah, because you know, like, I think when we were probably first going out, I'd say attitudes were different.
Yeah, exactly.
People were more...
Well, I'm not being funny. Like I was saying, when I was going out every weekend, not that I still don't go out every weekend, but you know, more so, you could go out with like 30 quid, couldn't you? Do you know what I mean? My EMA was my source of going out every year, like every week, sorry. I think now it's obviously after COVID, and I know everyone talks about it, but it really is, and I think people are being greedy and blaming COVID when actually it's like the receipts are saying something else. Yeah. You know, people are trying to charge £10. Mate, listen to this. This is a public service announcement. We've got to come together about this and riot. Like, tell me why I've seen a special offer in Birmingham City Centre and it was for a beer for £6. What are you talking about? Wrong. How is that a special offer?
It's wrong.
How is that a special offer? Are you mad?
This is the problem. So I remember really like beer when I first started out, about £2.
Yeah, innit?
About £2. If I got 20 quid, I'm sweet. That's me.
Yeah.
And also, I guarantee someone's gonna be buying drinks. I'm gonna I'll borrow a tenner.
Yeah.
Like,
but I think that's
£6. That's.
I know. So obviously. But from like a behind the scenes perspective, obviously stuff has gone up, and I understand that. And then people's attitude, obviously the 18-year-olds missed going clubbing and stuff, and their first sort of clubbing and shows that they were going to were big production shows. I don't think they're used to going to little dirty parties that, you know, it's you know, where the vibes are, you know, something like Summer Cellar, it's like there wasn't really that. It was more like big production because there was space for them to dance and stay away and, you know, all that sort of stuff. And I think that's what, because as well, they're saving money. So when they do go out, they want to spend an extra 10 or 15 quid and go to a massive big production show where
it's more thought out.
Yeah, the grass. Yeah, exactly. It's not like you've had one beer in like the Weatherspoons and then you end up going out to a rave. Do you know what I mean? You can't do that. I can't imagine doing that now.
My discipline, even to this day, just goes out the window completely. You know, I'm going to go out for 1 or 2
Yeah.
Forget it. Like, I'm out and I'm going to ruin my wallet.
Yeah, but I think that's a big thing is, like you said, it's almost planned. And then a big thing is as well, like everyone's just going to more sit-down stuff and daytime stuff, aren't they? Yeah. Which is great for me, like growing older, like I'm preferring the daytime vibes, but obviously just really, it's a knock-on effect and there's not that weekly, people don't go out every week, do they? No. The thing is myself though, I'd rather go to somewhere like, I don't want to go clubbing every week, I'll go to somewhere like Dead Wax or Club Colette or, do you know what I mean, something small that's like not so. I suppose Club Colette isn't it? Actually,
Club Colette. Are you? Colette. Yes or no?
Are you a club or not? No, but I love what they're doing there. Actually, it's really definitely. Cool. What's to talk about?
Club Colette. No, just in terms of like, things changing and.
Yeah, I think a big thing as well, especially with the queer scene and everything changing. So many places have gone because people stopped going out, and there was a different thing with that with the queer scene. It was dating apps and stuff because a lot of people they could only meet people like themselves going to places like queer places, and that they felt comfortable. Obviously, some people are lucky and they started feeling more comfortable going outside of the scene. But some people don't still. I mean, it's getting even worse now, obviously, all the hate crimes and stuff. But and now there's less and less venues, so it shows again, sort of like Fulham, the Nightingale was like 3,000 capacity across 3 rooms, which was rammed every weekend. I would not miss a Thursday in there because it was always really busy, and then it was just plummeted, and it would, again, people would only come out for special shows rather than every week, and so it's a lot of venues are closing, aren't they? There's less and less stuff to go to as well. It's a vicious circle.
I think what's quite... I mean, I think about this quite a lot. Quite a lot today, and I'm just trying to mind my own business. I'm not even trying to think about the flipping scene. I'm just trying to fucking make fucking breakfast or something. But something I was thinking about today was, do you think we know too much? Or we're made to know too much before an event. You know what I mean?
Okay. Like, as from a customer's perspective.
Because I always think that, like, when I first started going out, I don't know what to expect. I ain't got a clue. And that's where you sort of determine, fuck, this is really good. Because as soon as you get there and you like it.
Yeah, true.
You like it more because you didn't know what to expect than, oh, I should like this. This is exactly what I like. I don't know.
I think that's like the TikTok generation and stuff, isn't it? Like, people will go on, but again, it goes back to money.
Yeah.
Like, people want to make sure that it's 100% their vibe, and they don't want to take risks of places to go. They don't want to just jump in, oh, this song's playing outside this bar or this club, like, let's go in, it sounds good. Like, people haven't got the money to do that anymore. So people will go on TikTok and watch the videos, and they'll probably know every fucking inch of the venue before they've even gone in there.
Yeah.
Where that's not me at all. Like,
no.
The whole funness of going round and finding the new places to go and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think though, I don't know whether you feel like this as a promoter. I feel like becoming a promoter sort of ruined my clubbing though, because you'd go out and then you'd be at parties and you'd go, oh, this lighting's good that they're doing, or this DJ's really good, I need to talk to them and all that sort of stuff. Do you know what I mean? I end up getting like, depends how mangled I am though, but like, you end up like getting your work head on and you're networking and being like, oh, you should come to this party that I do and all that.
My thing is, and probably was, I don't do it anymore, but just because you like going there doesn't mean you need to do something there.
Yeah.
Because then it's a different relationship then. Not, our events have been good, but like, I feel like sometimes you should just leave that for yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like it's like your little fun place.
Yeah, instead of like, oh, now I'm handshaking everyone and I'm... do you know what I mean? Like,
you know what, that's mad because that's the reason, like, I need to do that.
Like, I used to go to, like, I've never done anything at the distillery. And I'd love to, but I shouldn't. Yeah, because just leave it. You don't need to do an event at the distillery. Don't find someone who's carrying a pizza to table 14 and go, excuse me, do you know where your manager is? Just, no one needs that.
Let them do their job.
Unless they want to, and you can contact me or I'll contact you. But no, I don't. There's so many places in my head, pub-wise. I'd love to do some of that. Something that I tried to set up ages ago was all of the shit pubs in Digbirth. We're going to do like a tour of all of them. And I got none on it. But I had to try and tell them, like you said, oh, this is shit or something. I'd be like, listen, I think your business is on its arse. And they'd be like, goodbye, see ya. Oh, it's a bit late for that.
Was it off?
Can we get subtitles then?
Well, that was, I think, what was we saying?
Just about doing it was like doing a pub tour. A pub tour with no DJs, it's just us on the piss.
So what I think going on from that actually is what I'm starting to do is daytime parties in social clubs.
Nice.
So I don't know if you came. Did you come to like my 30th birthday or my 31st? I can't remember.
I didn't come, but I saw the
picture.
So Dan, I was invited.
Oh, fair enough, bitch. Sorry. And so it was like, I'd be putting Lilith and Michael Cheng and all these sort of DJs on in and bringing drag queens and that to social clubs, but it was like £4 for a double vodka and coke. Do you know what I mean? So it's sort of, the only problem is obviously they close at like 11, but it's definitely something that I'm going to bring into the winter months because the problem is it's light obviously until late, and then obviously it would close 2 hours after it goes dark. So I need it to be where it goes dark.
I think the bigger picture of that is you've got places which also you've said are closing.
Yeah.
Some fucking wicked backdrops for pictures.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, exactly.
And let's not forget, you know, most of why we go out now is for a good backdrop.
For the gram. I always forget to take pictures of it. Yeah, man.
You know what? I was out. Usually, me and my missus straight on it.
Yeah.
I was out with Brad over the bank holiday. And I hadn't seen him for so long. I was sitting down outside the pub, and he went, "That's a great shot." And I was like, "That's my fucking boy, man." So, big up, Brad, man.
Oh, I love you, Brad.
But no, there's definitely some old, you know, some great stuff you can do there and have some real fun with it. And also, I think suburbs have got a real good
100%
thing on the go.
Yeah, 100%. If you know,
big up the suburbs, man.
Big up Chelmsford Wood.
Don't big up Chelmsford Wood. Go on, they're right.
Nah, it's weird days. Yeah, so a big thing is when I worked at Skiddle was these little mini festivals that are happening in suburbs. They sound like that. Yeah. And they're not doing anything. They've got some person that's not even ginger pretending to be a cheering on the stage. People are eating it up and paying £10. So it's that, I think, you know, again, going back to money, we're all broke, basically. That's what it is. You know, that's a big thing. That's why I want to go to the social clubs, because I've seen from my birthday parties that these parties work and people come to them and they don't shut up about that. Fucking hell, it's 4 Jager bombs, £6. So...
It's suburbs. It's your time.
Yeah, and I've already done them. So I do Moseley Social Club because they're down for it, and King's Heath Social Club are down for it as well. So
if you've got a good social club, working men's club, let us know.
Let us know. We'll come and wreck it.
We'll come and wreck
it. Joking.
Get the locals out. The locals can go home to their wives for that.
No, exactly.
What time are we on? It's a bit bad, isn't it?
1:45.
Is there a particular song that you... what iconic song do you need at your events to go, like... What's on your event playlist?
Well, I do different ones, don't I? But for me, you know, is it DBX, Join Hands? Join Hands!
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, so I always try and, at Hooker Club especially when we do that, I always try and ask DJs to play that for me near the end. To be honest, like, disco pussy, it's always, I Feel Loved, Donna Summer. Yeah. Like, we always play that. Or, Does Your Mother Know by ABBA? That's what it's called, isn't it? Yeah, like, you know, whenever we play ABBA, obviously everyone just goes nuts. Because it's fun, it's like, it's not, you know, I always say with Disco Pussy, it was music that you'd hear at your nan's birthday.
Yeah.
Like, we don't like when people come in and start playing like cool disco or new disco or anything like that. We want it to be cheesy, but we don't want, I mean, sorry, that sounds bad, but like, I don't want it to be like Reflex. So it'd be quite like young people will come to Disco Pussy and listen to like old disco and like the bait disco. That's why we created it, because we just felt like the only places to really listen to that music was like Reflex and it was just, you know, not the vibe.
I think what's iconic about the old disco as well is like, I keep finding old disco, it just keeps on going.
Yeah, it does.
And
it does.
It feels like...
I wonder how much is missing though. Like there must be so much like amazing stuff that like Giorgio Moroder and whoever created that we haven't even heard, and collabs and stuff.
My granddad, he used to be like, he was called the president of the Working Men's Club. So
yeah.
Used to have the King's Standing Working Men's Club, the ex-servicemen's. And I remember like when it was being there, not most weekends, but probably once a month.
Yeah.
Like it's skidding on your knees.
Yes, them vibes.
And like you'd have a percentage of the group of like my mum and dad's friends and that who were going out raving.
Yeah.
And then you had the old uns who'd have ABBA on and all this.
Yeah.
But I always remember my dad at that time was like, what the fucking ABBA off? Yeah. But then we've gone through some old VHS tapes where my dad, and I think it was something to do with my sister maybe, for like a fundraiser or something, and they've got full on maybe like 808 State playing. Like,
what?
And you can see all the olders in the background going like...
I love that. Fair play.
There's about 50 people having it off on the dance floor, and the whole everyone else on the outside is just absolutely livid.
We need to bring back like VHS cameras at the rave, but they're just annoying, aren't they? But it looks so good.
It does look really good. I think as well, when you've had like, you get so much HD now.
I know.
And when someone comes at you with a HD camera...
Get it fucking away from me.
Yeah. You don't need to see this. Max Shaw, man. Max Shaw, get that camera out of my face.
literally, him and Monica, like, they always just pop up, especially when I'm like just mid-dirty face as well, when something's going on.
Well, the worst is like, you know, when you half play up to it. So you've gone to go in, but then as you've done the face, you've just gone, shit, what am I doing? And that's when they get you.
No, yeah. Feel we are.
What are you going to be working on in the near future? I know you've mentioned the working men's clubs.
So we're carrying on, obviously, with Hook Club. We've got some great collaborations coming.
Sorry, is Horse Meat Disco this weekend?
This weekend on Friday. Tomorrow, Horse Meat Disco tomorrow with Disco Pussy at the Hare and Hounds. I've got a friends and family link if you want. Send me a message and send me a picture or something for it. Not like that. I'm not asking for nudes.
Dan's like this tonight.
No.
Rude.
Yeah, so basically a big thing that is missing in Birmingham and the Midlands is a queer electronic festival. So I've been wanting to do this since before the pandemic. And I was going to, there was talks of us closing a road in Digbeth, you know, where Pan is and stuff.
Floodgate Street.
Yeah,
yes.
Floodgate Street. Doing it there, doing it around there, the ruin. Using some of the warehouse spaces around there as well. Just started off quite small, 2,000 capacity. But I think that's a bit rogue to do for the first one. So I'm actually in the works of just confirming the venue, which is just one venue with multi-rooms. For like a day festival, and we're going to do like 1,000, 1,500 capacity with some secret headliners as well.
You've heard it here now, guys. You've heard it here first.
Exclusive!
Do you have an idea of when? Would that be this year?
Yes, so I've got to look at like the queer calendar because there's one in Manchester, one in Leeds, like little festivals like this. So I'm thinking preferably February time because that's when it's looking quite clear. So it's be the first one of the year. No one else really is doing anything around that time. And I'm starting a campaign very soon. It should roll out at the end of June, which is about getting creatives out again to clubs.
That could be a cap. That could be like a teacher.
Yeah, get creatives out again. Because a lot of the creatives, I think, have lost faith with Birmingham in general, especially the nightlife. And so it's about giving them reason to actually come out. And I think, exactly like you said, I think with creative people, and I think the older bit like our sort of generation, that probably have more chance got money to go out, they aren't looking at what the event is before. So you have to get them in there to see that it's good. Do you know what I mean? Because it's basically, I learnt like we'd have Hooker Club and we'd play the same music and then we'd get about 100 people, 120 people. But then if we had Homo Electric, we'd sell like 350 tickets. Yeah. But Homo Electric are just, there's no special like headline DJ or anything. They're playing exactly what we play for Hooker, but then these people out of nowhere will come to that, but they won't come to Hooker and grow that locally. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's the campaign that I'm working on at the end of June. That'll slowly go into me releasing the festival information. So yeah. I'm scared though.
Feel free to pressurise Dan now he's said it. Make sure this shit's happening. We need to know.
It is.
Every month, Dan gets an email.
It is happening. It's just basically it's my own fault. I sort of turned around and said I don't want it to be multi-venue for the first one because I think I took on a bit too much because it's only me doing it. Yeah. So I think if I just do it...
Addictive, man. Addictive. Get in touch with them. Let's bring them back.
Nah, but really though, like the resurgence of bassline and speed garage is absolutely mad. Yeah. Like working with Dean and Reed for the Crew 2 show that he had just, it was meant to be at Forum, so I was working on him with it. And like, I was talking to Georgia Smith's team about just coming to do a surprise set at Forum for the 60th birthday because she was playing in Wolverhampton, down the road. So I said about that, and she came back and went, I want to play here. And it was crew 2. And then she was like, that's how big it's got. Like, people are like, I want to go and play at this bassline show. Like, big up, like, Dean and, like, for what he's doing for the bassline, because it's just, it's not even, like, putting that much ads out or anything. It's just all organic. So.
That's what was on the other...
Yeah, and George Smith and Dizzy Rascal showed up and stuff.
You know what? I walked down Lower Trinity Street. Bearing in mind, the last event's called Make Digbeth Shit Again Forever.
Yeah.
Like, and it was active, man.
Yeah,
it was going
yeah.
off, and I was like, I guess we're good.
That's the thing. I think it's just we're used to it being regular all the time, aren't we? Like that every weekend, where it's just not the case anymore, unfortunately. Do you think though, that we could get it back to a situation where people are regularly going out, or? I
think there's some slight inconveniences which we can't control.
Yeah.
I keep going on about...
Like the world dying.
Clippy.
Carry on.
I do believe that getting to the area now. So for me to even get to Digbeth has become a fucking joke. Like,
is George the dad coming out here?
It's become a fucking joke.
It takes me an extra 5 minutes.
Back in my day.
No, I do get you though. I do get
like,
it.
When it needs to be so accessible, and also like, we've just mugged it. I feel with parking. I've gone for your dad, Eddie.
No, you know what?
Because I'd
embrace it.
Basically, I'd leave my car in Digbeth and just hope it hasn't been torched or stolen
at
the weekend. And now I can't park it because there's permits. I'm gutted.
No, I do get that. It's like the council just feels a bit like against everything.
I think that the tram thing is just a real momentum killer.
Yeah.
I've never really been on the other tram. I don't care for the tram.
Yeah.
And
Need to get your steps in, man.
I keep thinking, like, when it starts, this better be fucking good, this tram, because the amount of businesses that have gone.
Well, I think it's just a bit bizarre to me. Not that, like, I'm a perfectionist in travel or anything like that, but,
you know... said travel, man. There's so many other things I could have said.
No, I get what you mean. No, you are right though, because a big thing is there was actually what's it called when you ask people questions? A review. Basically, a lot of young people said they struggle to get into town, especially from the suburbs, because of how bad that our public transport is. So it is a big thing.
It's a real vibe killer.
Yeah, it is a very vibe. It is. So you are right to bring up travel.
As well, let's say I'd be out back in the day up Moseley. I'd probably go on a bit of a pub crawl and end up at the Hare. I don't think we've got enough piss cans as youngsters at the minute. I think everyone's...
What does that mean?
Like, going out and getting pissed and seeing where they end up.
Oh, yeah. I get what you mean. Yeah.
Like, I think we kind of touched on it earlier. It's quite organised.
Yeah, it is. Very organised. I think people have just lost their spontaneity. For going out. But to be honest, I think that was sort of dying just before COVID as well. I think again it was just everything getting more expensive and people being greedy.
I think another thing as well. I know, like, we've done a lot of discussions in the past, and I've had a moan and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that come to some cellar that I've never seen before.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? It's the best feeling when that happens.
I think there probably does need to be a point where we just celebrate that, and that becomes focus instead of it being there's not enough people here.
Yeah.
Like, nurture the ones that are here, and people might come and go, actually, that looks like a good vibe.
One thing I learned from like growing up and all the different parties is I'll probably say a third of my parties have been successful, 2/3 haven't been successful at all, or 30 people have showed up or stuff like that. You've just got to keep going. But you have
it's good, man.
No, it is in this day and age. But and it's about enjoying what you've created and the people that have showed out, because at the end of the day, like, you might be disappointed that 30 people have came, but you've got to try and you've created something at the end of the day. And I think a lot of people are holding back now. A lot of people will moan that there's stuff that, there needs to be this, there needs to be that. We'll go and fucking make it then. Yeah. That's what I always try and push people to. Because I've had people go, can you do this? Why would I do that? Like, it's nothing to do with me. They're just scared to do it themselves because they're expecting 300 people to show up at their first party, and that's just not realistic. You need to go through them really shit parties. Mate, I've been at the door literally shitting myself thinking, I'm going to lose out on money here. Do you know what I mean?
Another little thing as well, before we finish. I've got two things to say.
Go on then.
When I was at Artem, I tried to create promoters.
Yeah.
So I was saying to a few people who I knew have got a good following and they're into music, you can do this and I'll support you, I'll back you.
Yeah.
And I was getting like, we'll have like a regular conversation, people going, oh, my anxiety's through the roof and all that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know it's shit, but
it's part
on
of
the
it.
night, it was the geezer who come up to me and was like, this is fucking wicked. And his eyes were like big and just like, loving.
Oh, I thought you meant for another reason. I get what you mean.
And then we started to talk about the night.
Yeah.
But like, he was saying how sick that made him feel. Like it was such a great feeling.
Yeah.
And for anyone who wants to put events on, you have to sit in this place of discomfort.
Yeah, you do.
And it's fucking rough, but the night, when it comes off, it's one of the best feelings, man.
I'm actually doing a mentorship with Punch Records. You're doing it, but I'm doing it for a event production. So, if you're a young promoter...
They've obviously not invited me back.
I think they're just... No, I've probably...
That's rough, man.
No, they've probably just done it like they want different people, don't they? They don't want the same...
My class sent me to the shop. That's how, I said to...
What, for a bottle of vodka?
I mean, you're kind of got it just here. Do you want to get us some things from the shop? I was like,
well, right. I'm excited for
great
that.
group.
Anyway.
They're a good group. One last thing. This is going to be a some seller plug.
Okay.
I am about to announce. I'm about to announce bucket list shit.
What?
Some seller off the bucket list.
You don't tell me what it is actually, so I can't pretend that I know what it is. I've heard it's shocked. I've heard it's amazing, mate.
I don't know whether to drop it because the announcement's Tuesday. So
it's up to you.
If they're up for the, can I drop it? It's a Sigil exclusive.
What is it?
Some seller are collaborating with Rinse F.
Oh no, that's sick. When? No, tell us on Tuesday. That's big. That's so good.
That's bucket list shit.
Yeah. For sure.
No matter the fact that's even happening.
Yeah. But you should be proud of yourself about what you all grew, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it stood the test of time.
There was times last year where I was going to think about knocking it on the head. I just fell out of love with stuff. It's just that place of discomfort.
Yeah, it's too much, isn't it, sometimes?
I've probably got some bigger battles coming up.
Yeah.
But, the last few events have been really, really special. So for this to happen, I'm over the moon.
I'm buzzing for you.
Announcements Tuesday, and it's some serious headliners as well. So
I'll be dancing there too.
Dan Brown, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
I'm not that good at this. It just gets me out of the house.
Oh, bless. He's getting an old man in his scrap. Oh, thank you for having me. Big up Sigil, big up George.